Hey guys, Patrick here. It's the last Thursday of the month, and that means you guys get to listen to me talk about my perspective. Our question this week comes from Red Dragon 033195. The question is, what are the polar masculine and feminine forces to you? How do we use them in our craft? And I'm just going to throw in, how do we see them? What is our idea of the god and what is our idea of the goddess? I used to be very one-sided on the topic of masculine and feminine. I used to see it as, the man was a man, the woman was a woman. If it was written in a book, correspondence-wise, as lavender being masculine or rosemary being feminine and so on and so forth, that was what it is. There was no change, there was no difference. I'm quite different in my opinions now. I've talked to a bunch of really smart people. I've worked with the herbs firsthand. I've worked with all my correspondences firsthand. So what I have to say about masculine and feminine energies to me is that every living creature comes from, in my craft, or what I believe, comes from a higher energy, a higher force. That force is neither masculine or feminine. It's both. Whatever living thing it is, it has feminine and masculine energies in it, but it will tell you which one is more to it, whether it be a plant, it will let you know, hey, I'm more masculine. Once you spend time with these plants, you'll understand that some batches of, your vervain will be feminine, some batches will be masculine. I always try to ask the plant, are you masculine or feminine before I work with it? Now, how do I view the god and goddess in my craft? How do I see them? Do I see it as the sun being the god? Do I see it as the moon being the feminine energy? And I have to say that this is something that I kind of struggle with. I'm very on and off with it because it really doesn't feel right to me to put an image to something like that. I feel like the goddess is going to be there. And yes, I do represent the goddess with the womanly body, and I do represent the god with a masculine body. It's not like I don't. But I do see where people would want to switch that up or kind of play around with it. You can have masculine energies in a female body, and you can have female energies in a masculine body. For me, I do see it as, the male energies as a male and the female energies as a female. I don't like to symbolize the moon and the sun being any such sort, because the moon is its own source of energy, the sun is its own source of energy. I kind of pull from those as being planetary energies instead of masculine and feminine. I do the same things with my herbs. Like I said, some nights the moon feels very womanly to me, sometimes the sun will feel more womanly. I was actually talking to a friend a couple days ago about this video and trying to get some ideas and different perspectives on it. And I asked her, how do you see the goddess and the god, and what do you symbolize them as? And she was like, well, it's kind of different. I see the sun as being the goddess and the moon as being the god. And I kind of sat there and scratched my head and I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting to hear. This is going to be a different kind of perspective than what I'm used to hearing and what I'm used to reading about. And she explained it in a way that I'm like, wow, that actually makes a lot of sense to me. She sees the sun as being the goddess because the sun is the giver of life, and it is actually known as the thing that gives us life. It gives plants life, it helps them grow. Without the sun, we would not have life. So women are the only ones who can give birth to the child, and she represents the belly of the woman or the womb of the woman as the sun. And I'm like, okay, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And the god being the moon, because it is more of the mysterious, darker side of life. It is kind of, mysterious and magical, and that's how she represents the male side of magic. And I was like, wow, that is a new perspective that I'm definitely going to take and use in my craft now and use in my practice, because it really does ring true to me. So I feel like when we're representing the god and the goddess in our craft, it's really up to us. If you see the god as being an owl and being this wise, all-knowing creature, use an owl as your representation of the god. If you see the goddess as a flower, a beautiful flower, then represent the goddess as a flower. It's whatever feels true and whatever feels right to you. Another thing that I want to talk about is correspondence. I know I touched a little bit about it with the herbs, but a lot of people will tell you that earth, fire, water, and air, they each have their own qualities, feminine and masculine. Something that I've learned through working with them, and something that really rings true to me, is that no element is one energy. No element is masculine, feminine. The elements are just like the greater power. They're both. One is very passive and one is very aggressive. So take fire for instance. Fire can be very rapid, it can burn you, it can hurt you, it can be a fighter, but it can also warm your house, it can be the sun, it can give life, it can bring new life into existence. Water can be calm and collective and reflective. Also, water can slowly eat away at rock, it can be a very strong force, it can knock you down, it can drown you. So I feel like when it comes to the elements, you really have to find out what one rings true to you. You can kind of use each force if you want to. If there are designated element to feminine and masculine energies that you want to designate them with, that's fine. A lot of my friends see fire as being woman, and a lot of my friends see fire as being masculine. So it's really up to you. I see them each as both. How do I draw that own energy into my craft, into my altar, into myself in general? I try to draw that energy in the most balanced way I can possibly do it. I try to see both sides. I try to be the caring, more calm side of the woman, and I also try to be the more masculine, energetic force. I try to keep those balanced within me because I feel when we are too one-sided, we become unbalanced, we become angry, we become aggressive. If we're too masculine, we kind of lose those feminine touches, and if we are too feminine, we can kind of lose those in charge, take charge attitude that we need. So I feel like we need a good balance. I draw both in. I don't focus more on the god than I do the goddess. I don't focus more on the goddess than the god. I keep them at their same place. I think they are completely equal. Charlie and me were talking, and I have not watched anyone's video, but Charlie did tell me that she said that each person has the thought, and the thought process is the woman, and the man is the action. And I love the way she explained that, so I think I'll leave it at that. Each person, each plant, each animal, any living thing has the masculine and the feminine energies. It's just how we put them out there, how we see them in the universe. We give the face to the god and the goddess. The god and the goddess did not make us masculine or feminine, but we make the goddess and the god masculine or feminine. I really see it that way. I see that rings true to me. I hope this video helps. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and thank you so much to Red Dragon for this very interesting topic, and I will see you guys the last Thursday of the month. I hope you guys have an awesome February. Love and light. Bye.